Welcome to the second phase of the self-realization journey. This is a magnificent passage of strange behavior and bizarre experiences. Asa Jolie refers to this phase as the crisis caused by the spiritual awakening. To understand this phase, you have to see yourself as two energies, or beings, your consciousness and your unconsciousness. Your unconsciousness is your higher self, your center, your divinity, your portal to God, if you will, or your pathway to a divine being. I'm being very general here, and I will discuss more of this in a future video. For now, this vague description will suffice. Your conscious self is the you that moves through the day and sees the world as your culture, community, and family interprets the world. When you enter the second stage, the pathway between these two, the consciousness and the unconsciousness, opens. The individual can experience this in different ways. The DSM, the Diagnostic Manual for Psychiatrists, lists 10 types of spiritual awakenings. They are, number 1, the shamanic crisis, number 2, the awakening of Kundalini, number 3, episodes of unitive consciousness or peak experiences, number 4, psychological renewal through return to the center, number 5, the crisis of psychic opening. Number 6, past life experiences. Number 7, communications with spirit guides and channeling. Number 8, near-death experiences. Number 9, experiences with close encounters with UFOs. And number 10, possession states. Some people handle these experiences well, others not so well. Those that handle the direct line to their center will experience joy and bliss. As well, any sufferings they were experiencing physically or psychologically can vanish suddenly. Those that handle the incoming information and sensations with difficulty, and I fit into this category, experience what Asa Jolie calls a confusion of levels. Asa Jolie lists 4 reasons why the unconscious and conscious do not mingle well. They are, number 1, intellect is not well coordinated and developed. Number 2, emotions and the imagination are uncontrolled. Number 3, when the nervous system is too sensitive. And number 4, when the incoming spiritual energy is overwhelming due to intensity and suddenness. Those in this category of strugglers are often diagnosed with some psychosis or delusion or as delusional and treated with medication. Other side effects can be erratic behavior, mood swings like crying, shouting, singing, and excitement. On the more intense side are parapsychological perceptions. Dr. Stanislav Grof describes symptoms as follows. Feelings of oneness with the entire universe, visions and images of distant times and places, sensations of vibrant currents of energy coursing through the body accompanied by spasms and violent trembling. Visions of deities, demigods and demons, vivid flashes of brilliant light and rainbow colors, fears of impending insanity, even death. I'll put a link in the description. Jung describes his trek through this phase as, he quotes in his memoir, titled Memoir, Dreams and Reflections, he says, "It would be no exaggeration to call it a state of disorientation." And then he goes on to say, "It is of course ironical that I, a psychiatrist, should at almost every step of my experiment have run into the same psychic material that is the stuff of psychosis and is found in the insane." How many people have you heard of being diagnosed with a spiritual emergency, or that they were going through an awakening? If you do not know what you are going through, you cannot heal. Healing provides wonderful benefits to the individual, but also to humanity. Examples of people that have gone all the way in their healing are Eckhart Tolle, David Hawkins, Carl Jung, Jack Kornfield, Ram Dass, Rudolf Steiner are just a few names. There are many more who can help us to understand the path and lead the way. I didn't know what was wrong with me, not until a year ago. Alone and unknowingly, I've been trying to figure out things. This has set me back. I feel as though I've been falling, and now I'm working to stop the fall and start moving upwards again. I want to help those that are experiencing these symptoms so they can keep moving forward and understand the process. If people can understand the process of awakening, all of humanity benefits, not only the individual. People talk themselves out of this because believing there's such thing as a spiritual awakening, well, it just has to be mumbo jumbo, right? When the doctors and mental health professionals never speak of it or consider it as options to one's health, then how can the public ever consider it? In the next video, I'll be discussing the third phase of the self-realization journey. Before I end this video, I wanted to mention that my series of Susan and Me videos, which is part 2, this is part 2 of the project, will continue on for a few more videos. I'm not going to complete it in the next 2, which I had originally planned. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on how it's going so far. It's been very monochromatic until now, the end, where I'm adding some color. And you'll see more color coming up in the videos to follow. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.